Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is the restoration of a 90s custom built Black Limba TV console. I was commissioned to redo it after I did their matching coffee table and I was in for a challenge. My name is Adi and I am relatively new to furniture flipping, and I'm so happy to have so many of you following and subscribing to watch how I learn and grow in this new trade of mine. So first thing was to disassemble as much as I could so that I could remove all of the old orangey lacquer. I split the pieces between two locations, my workshop garage and our front yard. And then I began inspecting all of the pieces to see if any damage was there or something that I really needed to fill or take care of. Cleaned everything up with some vinegar and dish soap because I know where this piece came from and I know how it was taken care of, and also because I knew I was going into chemical stripping here. There was no way to get out of it. So all in all, we had 4 drawer faces, 3 doors, and a top panel, a side panel, and a front panel, and 2 shelves that needed to be stripped. Guys, I'm very appreciative for the wonders of chemistry and whatnot, but I have to tell you, I hate chemical stripping. I needed to get myself psyched up for this, as you can see. A few things I've learned are that you need to get a lot of solution onto your furniture, and you need to make sure it stays wet all the time. You'll see in the video that I was working in very windy conditions this kind of spring day, and so I got some nylon that I spread over everything and used the other half of the nylon also for the drawer tops and faces of the doors. The part that everyone loves, the ever so satisfying scraping. So although we can see that I'm getting a lot of gunk off of the top, I did go in again with a carbide scraper, and I did go in again on some spots with another round of chemical stripper. getting these clamps off was easier than I expected. You just lift them up and that relaxes the hold and snaps right out. I had to strip both sides of the doors and the drawer faces because you could see them obviously when you open the door or when you pull out the drawers, and I didn't want to take a chance on any of the orange peeking out. So that took some time. So I plan to go all the way up the grits from 40 to 220, which means I had to gear up and enjoy the time. So I danced a bit. After sanding with 40, I went up to 60, then 80, then 100, 180, and 220, all with my brand new Makita orbital sander and my Bosch Advanced Vac 20 attachment. It's such a game changer to have all the equipment, and I loved how it came out just silky smooth to the touch. The doors were sanded with 40, 80, 180, and 220, but sanding the front of this piece was a huge challenge. So after all that, I went in with my Bosch mouse sander to get all the corners and attachments cleaned up because I didn't want any of that orangey lacquer to show up anywhere. I had two areas where I needed to glue the back panels, and I finally got me some brand new clamps, so I was happy to use those too. And since this video, I've bought me some syringes to apply glue correctly, but I didn't have it yet in this video. So, who's gonna leave me a comment explaining to me how to clamp a triangle? Because this was kind of funny. Yeah, 6 clamps will do it. So then I needed to get some nails into part of the backing that had come undone. And that was it. Finally, time for paint wash. I mixed up probably about a 50-50 water to paint, maybe 60-40, 60 water, 40 paint wash with a cream paint, the same one I used on the coffee table because I just want it to be identical, and just went at it. You can see it's very watery. I really wanted to make sure I don't overdo it, and I wasn't worried about going in and doing another layer if I needed it. So I went really watery and make sure to wipe it all the time. I had a previous experience with doing a wash that just failed, and I learned both that I need to keep it very, very wet, let the wood soak it in, and then use a dry part of the towel. So I used a very large towel this time and just made sure I kept moving it around so that I was always using a dry part of the towel, and that just worked beautifully. Okay, so I forgot to clean underneath. Well, I didn't actually forget, but because the back panel wasn't connected well, I wanted to make sure everything was good before I turned it on her side. And when I did that, I took a better look at the front and the shelving, and I was not happy with it. So yes, I resanded everything and repainted it. And I'm glad I did. And I might have even done it a third time because I wasn't happy with some places. And as you can see, there were also places where the whitewash wasn't done correctly. And also those weird brackety things that go on the doors. What are they for? I don't get it. Anyways, I needed to get those done too. So got the sander out, cleaned it all off so that I could give it a brand new wash again, and also take care of those brackety things. Please tell me in the comments what their job is. They're just connected to the doors and I don't know what they do. And we're ready for sealer. I use this Novia one component sealer. I love it. Again, I'm a beginner, so I don't have a lot of experience with other sealers, but it is so forgiving. I roll it on, I let it dry, sand it with 400 grit, rolled on 2 more coats, and it just gives a nice matte flat finish. I don't like it when it becomes all shiny and lacquery looking, and this gives it a nice flat matte finish and also rolls on super easy. I really recommend it. Even though I haven't tried many others, I recommend this. And of course, need to seal the brackety things. Is bracket the right word? I don't know what they are. They're these panels that have 3 screws in them. They're on the insides of the doors. I don't know what their job is, but I seal them. This piece was so taken care of. The drawers inside were absolutely immaculate and taken care of, but I figured it would be best to give them a nice wax inside and out to just make sure they continue to stay fresh and clean. And after cleaning the drawer pulls in a vinegar solution, we decided to go with a black spray paint to give them a little bit more of a modern and new look. So, reassembling the drawer faces was not simple. I fought with it a little bit. I'm not showing you all of the footage of how long it took me to get them perfectly in place and what was the right way to stand them up and get them together, but I did it. Even though it took a lot. And I had like 100 mosquitoes like all around me, just eating me up to this day. Like you can see every once in a while I just stop to give a good itch and scratch here and there. Sorry about that. Okay, mustn't forget those brackety things on the back of the doors. I'm begging, really, write in the comments what their job is. They're not structural. They just connect to the back of the doors. That's it. Like, is it like a decorative thing? I don't get it. Let's have a look at her before, and here she is after. So that's 35 hours, a mover and a crane to get it back into their apartment. And I love it. I'm happy. I worked on it so much and learned so much. I have gotten great feedback from them. This wood is just gorgeous. I would love to try another Black Limba and maybe use a tan wash on it. And here it is back at home in its perfect place. Guys, please subscribe, give me your comments, tell me what I should have done differently. I'm so happy you joined me on this furniture restoration, and I'll see you again on Raising the Grain.